Nebraska wrapped up its 10th fall camp practice here on Saturday. Hi, Sean Callahan with HuskerOnline. It was a 128-play scrimmage for head coach Matt Rule's team, where he said there were a lot of goods on both sides.
I thought it was a lot cleaner than normally you see a first scrimmage in terms of like a ton of pre-snap penalties and things. There was a couple with maybe the younger guys, but with the older guys, I thought it was pretty clean. We had a couple personal fouls on offense that hurt us. So learning to control our emotions or, control our decision-making is probably something, versus a defense like ours. You get a drive going, you certainly can't go back 15 yards. But I thought it was good spirited work. I always look at scrimmage one like it's like a rough draft of a paper. It's number one. We'll look at it. We'll revise it. But I thought there was a lot of good work there.
As for who had the upper hand, Rule would not tip his hand.
I wouldn't say so. I'd say, again, it was very, very regimented, more regimented than I normally am. So it was like 8 plays in a row. So if the defense went 3 and out, the offense stayed out there. If we got down to the offense drove the ball one time down to the 10-yard line, I blew it dead and said, all right, next group up. So really trying to be disciplined about staying 8 and 8 and 8. So I thought it was good physical work back and forth.
Offensive line continues to be a question for this football team. Turner Corcoran was back out at practice, but Nebraska still has not put him in live situations yet.
He was cleared to practice today, so he practiced, but I didn't scrimmage him. Full disclosure. I just was like, he hasn't done anything most of the week. Why put him out there today? So we'll start him up again on Monday. So he should be good to go, and I think he's really important piece. He's a guy who started a lot of football. You go back a couple of years, he's blocking those great DNs from Michigan and blocking them well in pass pro. So we were excited about him last year, and he's worked hard to get back. So yeah, he'll be an important piece along with Gunner and Gatula and Grant Segrin and all the other guys that we have repping over there.
That's meant guys like Gunner, Gatula, and Grant Segrin both have gotten plenty of reps with the top offensive units at tackle.
Gunner's done a good job. Gunner's excellent in the run game. It's just the confidence in the pass rush game, and I say confidence in the pass rush game, not ability. I had them pull his measurements. He's 6'6", 300 plus with 33-inch arms and 81 wingspan. I mean, those are the things you're looking for. If that guy was in the portal, we'd all be scrambling for him. So he's played against good players for a year now, year and a half really. So it's time for him to go. And I've seen good. I'm anxious to see this tape, because it's hard to see what the left tackle's doing in the middle of practice. But I'm anxious to see what he did today. And then Grant's a good player. I've talked about him, early on. I think he's big. He's got really long arms. He's athletic. He's really, really smart. He's in the rake school, So both those guys, I think, give us a lot of depth behind Turner.
Over the last week, we've also seen Tristan Alvano back out for Nebraska here in training camp.
Yeah, Tristan's in the 120. He's kicking. Today for the kickers was, yesterday was a big special teams day along with today, but we still keep them on rotation. So one day it's, one guy. Today, those guys both got a couple kicks. Here's what I'll say: we're pretty consistent. I don't know how far out we can go and be consistent, but in my opinion, in college football, you want to be reliable inside the 30. With the ball inside the 30, and you want to be reasonable out to like the 35, 36, and it should be automatic from the 25. And so I feel like right now we're getting to be where we're pretty automatic from the 25, and then we're pretty, reliable inside the 30. So we're getting there. And I think, we have some guys who can really kick off and affect the game that way.
And as you continue to hear about Nebraska's running back group, you just get the sense it's going to be back by committee.
I like the whole group. I think Dante, maybe if Dante was lagging a little bit in the spring, I think he's starting to catch his wind, and, he's doing better now. I think it's great to have Ramir and Gabe out there. They're really, really, attacking. Emmett's having a really good camp. So, the big challenge for me, obviously when you play running back, we need guys who protect the football. We need guys who protect. You'd like them to be able to catch. And while you say it seems obvious they have to have rush skills, the difference between where we were early last year, between where we want to be this year, is that 4-yard run that maybe we make a nice cut and we get 8 on. We need to get 80. We need guys who can make somebody miss and have juice and are electric and take off. So that challenge versus, our defense, they're swarming, you're protecting the ball a lot, but also finding the guys who can make guys miss. And I see them all working at it. So I'd say that's a tight race, and it'll all play itself out.
One other interesting note from Saturday is it will be the final day Nebraska's players are in the dorms. It's the second year in a row Nebraska's had the team staying in the Selleck dorm building over the first part of training camp.
Yeah, and we're moving out today, and I think it's kind of year two, right? They kind of know this is what we do. This is what's expected. I don't. It's not not as big of a deal. Like Sad asked me. Marcus was like, "Hey, do you think I could stay in the dorms next week? Why am I driving 30 minutes, 25 minutes when I can just sleep in Selleck, air conditioning, walk over, go to work?" So, but yeah, and again, I think that's a good thing, right? We're in Selleck not to have that be like a team thought process, a storyline, just to be around each other, right? So that's why we do it. I think we're getting to the point now where, like, the real stories on our team are like football. Like, hey, am I playing hard? Am I doing the right things? I'm not giving these long PowerPoints about how to behave and act and do the right thing. Like, we're talking about, hey, third down, 2-minute, situational football.
There were a few injury notes as well. Besides corner Jeremiah Charles had injured his shoulder, Rule also had injury reports on a couple of other players.
Yeah, Jake had a injury, had surgery, lower extremity, probably be out for most of the year. Not an ACL or anything like that. Just had a repair of his meniscus, so he'll big guys, you try to take it easy. So hurt it early. Bryce Turner had broke a bone in his hand, so he'll be out for an extended amount of time as that heals. Those are really the two that come to mind.
And finally, head coach Matt Rule locked down the scrimmage here. There were no outside visitors in here, including high school coaches, former players, and parents of players who generally have gone to these scrimmages in the past.
Yeah, I closed it completely, yeah. Because I thought, because we love when parents come. We love when former players come. We want when high school coaches come. I wanted the players to have, like, this space of, like, no one's watching. Let me just go play. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say what you want. Like, when your mom, your dad, your sister, brother's there's an extra little something. And, I've had a lot of guys mention that to me. Like, hey, sometimes it's hard for me when parents are watching or it's just watching. So I thought just the two scrimmages, we would shut it down. Coach Osborne came, and no one had the guts to tell him to leave. So, and I certainly didn't. But, I thought it was, I thought there are some things like where we are right now, and again, even the way I did the scrimmage, I did it very much like we did it in 2019 at Baylor, which I know doesn't mean much, but like you have a veteran group creating situations as opposed to, hey, who's going to win, right? Like, I think we're so competitive that I don't need that anymore. Now I need them to, like, win a play and all of a sudden, hey, it's 4th and 3 at the 3. Can you snap into it? And so just, I wanted to create a lot of different situations, and I didn't want them to be focused on, hey, did we win this? Did we lose this? I want them just to play that rep and stay in the moment, and that's part of my process of us getting to be a team that doesn't, struggle down at the end of the game, that stays in the moment, was just trying to create that bubble today.
Reporting here with the Nebraska football team in Lincoln, I'm Sean Callahan of HuskerOnline.com.